are you on TV? We got a White Swan event. That's what Astro's saying. Yeah, that's what Astro's saying. White Swan event. And last night in Astro, all we did was do cleanup work. So if you know what cleanup work is, you know what Astro is. Well, maybe it's more of a Black Swan event. The whole phone fell over. Okay, but anyway, we were doing so much cleanup last night. I woke up exhausted. Okay, so today's affirmation is Deuteronomy 31:6. Have courage, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid. And there's Thunderbuck. He just came to join us. Can you see him outside there? There's Thunderbuck. He looks like Willie. Hi, Thunderbuck. There he is. Oh. We're having a little bit of a problem with the... You see him outside? Can you see him? He's eating his food. He looks like Willie. Yeah. Well, we can go ahead and go outside, I guess. I guess we're supposed to go outside. Hi, Thunderbuck. Yeah, you just gave me a kiss. Hi, I see your tongue. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and... So we've got courage, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid. And that was the message also. It was be strong. It was be strong and stand your ground. The other day I mentioned turning your back on people. And a second cat picture came out with his back towards me with my cat cards. So that's 2 cats 2 days in a row with the back turned against them, against us. So keep your back turned against whoever you've turned it against. And have courage, be strong, do not be afraid. Immoral integrity was who you left, who you turned your back against. That was randomly on the bottom of Tasha's Divine Guidance cards. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and see what's in here today. I'm going to turn the radio off. All right. Yeah, so anyway, we were doing all kinds of cleanup last night. And it was like I woke up exactly at midnight, exactly at 2 a.m. and was told to stand my ground, keep my back turned against all these toxic situations, and clean this mess up. Because it's time to go. It was kind of like when you leave an apartment or you leave a house and you have to broom sweep it clean in order to get your security back, or in order to sell the house, it's got to be all clean. Of course, tenants don't do that. I was a landlord for a lot of years, and tenants, they do not clean up after themselves. We had a couple, you know. There's always a few that do, but very rare. Okay, so spiritual gifts, intuition, visions, and dreams. Okay, again, I'm getting a high priestess vibe from it. So you have to use your intuition here. Deuteronomy 31:6, courage, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Okay. That's the kind of energy. So there's going to be temptation to go backwards. There's going to be temptation to not only go backwards, but take in the toxic situations that were there and put them back into your life, and you don't want to do that. There's all kinds of trickery, monitoring spirits randomly at the bottom of my other deck. There's all kinds of trickery, like, oh, you got to take this job back, you got to take this person back, right? And all of it is, if it's from your past, don't go backwards. If it's from your past, don't go backwards. And that's so hard to do, especially when it comes to families or old boyfriends, right? Or ex-husbands. It's so easy just to take them back. Oh, they've changed, especially if they went to rehab, right? Oh boy, yeah, you got to take them back now because they just spent all that time in rehab. And I just keep getting, keep your back turned against the past. Okay, these are the cards that wanted to come out, so we're going to go with them. We have Divine Feminine, Sacred Intuition, so that's right back with the spiritual gifts, and I said it was a high priestess feeling. Okay, that's exactly what it is. Divine Feminine, use your Divine Feminine side. Compassion, nurturing, creativity, and sensuality, but I'm more at the sacred intuition. I'm not getting the let's nurture everybody. No, I'm saying the opposite of that. So I'm saying sacred intuition and spiritual gifts. Okay, and then the other cards that came out were Ancient Site of Power, the ley lines, the monuments, and the ruins. I'm still waiting for that White Swan event, but they call it the Black Swan event. Either way, it's a swan event, and that's what they were telling me, so that this is really cool that this card came out, because if you guys know, this is part of that event, the ancient ruins. Then we have karmic trolls. Okay, so false friends basically is what I'm getting off of this card. And that's why I told you to turn your back on the toxic situations and don't be fooled back into it, because they want to take you into the valley of darkness. They're going to pretend that they've changed. Okay, they're going to pretend that they changed, and they're going to take you into the valley of darkness. So what's the answer to all this? Conversation with God, faith and prayer. Stay in the moment, stay in the day, keep your guard up, is what I'm hearing. Stand firm and don't back down. So we've got Tom Petty, don't back down. I won't back down. We'll put that on a shorts later. Okay, then we have prayer for readings. Okay, so somebody is checking you out. They're doing what they can to keep you from moving forward. They could be doing anything. They could be paying for readings. I said praying for readings, but this says paying for readings. So they could just be praying for your downfall. But either way, if you pray for someone's downfall or you pay for someone's downfall, it's all still evil. Okay? You are ascending, you're awakening, and you're getting God's knowing. So you're onto this. And that's why this is just an energy warning of I won't back down. That'll be a great song for later. Okay, and then on the top of the deck, we have you're not using your unique personal expression because it's in reverse. So you're not being unique enough. So just like me with my videos, every day they're different. Every day they're in a different atmosphere. Every day the energy is different. I'm using my unique expressions, but somebody here is not because it's in reverse. So we want to have it upright. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, and that's how you're going to get through this. You're going to get through this using your uniqueness. Okay, that can be a Queen of Wands energy. It can be using your creativity like the Queen of Wands. We also got the Divine Feminine and the High Priestess energy. So whatever your uniqueness is, that's what you want to use. Okay, now we're going to pull a few cards here, and you can see which ones want to come out here. Okay, we've got, you have a deception, you have a betrayal person and a liar in your energy. That could be the person that you turned your back on and you're standing guard against, but it also could be someone new that's in the energy right now. Let's see. It looks like it has something to do with your job or career. So you're probably going to have to leave your job or career because it has something to do with the liar. And you might be going to a water job, or you might be moving towards the water in a career. And somebody is wearing a fake mask in the 3D. So that goes right back to, I was talking about a job or a career. That's where the deception, the betrayal, the liar, the fake person's wearing a mask. Somebody in that. Now, if you're not working, of course, it's just in your everyday life, you know, it's in your energy. The ancestors are helping you to figure this out, because you don't want to quit your job. You're like, I don't want to quit my job. Can't we just get rid of the liar? Well, could be someone you're living with. Okay. It doesn't have to be a job, but it's saying job and career, and it's also saying new. So they do want you to get a new job because of this. Maybe the whole company is a big lie. But your ancestors are helping you. So back to faith and praying to God, having conversation with God will help you in this situation. And then it says also watch for signs and synchronicities and triple numbers, because your ancestors are going to give you the answer through signs and synchronicities. And when you get a triple number, go ahead and Google it for angel number. Remember mine, name of my book, right? 365 is an angel number. It means levels of heaven, new beginnings, changes, prosperity. And that's where I'm headed. If I get my choice, I'm not going to rebuild. I'm going to help others rebuild, and I'm going to stay on my ship. Okay, so taking a trip, taking a break. Again, I'm feeling more of quitting that job, getting a new job, getting a new house, getting a new everything. New is the word. Because somebody has a spiritual disease. And when we talk about spiritual diseases, we usually say that they're a betrayal, they're a liar, they're fake, they're wearing a mask, they're deceptive, they're from the devil. Okay. You want happiness, joy, and fulfillment. So do you see the difference between the colors too? If you can see them on the film here, whatever, not film, but whatever this is. Okay, YouTube video. You can tell I'm old school. Film, right? Films, tapes, rewind, right? Okay, so this is black and white. It's plain as sight. This deception, this betrayal, this liar. This is black with red eyes, fake, wearing a mask. The eyes are really in red because they're evil. A lot of times you'll see people with black eyes, black eyes. Not black eyes as in they got hit, but black as in their color, their iris. And this is all colorful. Happiness, joy, fulfillment, success. All reds and yellows and greens, okay? That's where you're going. but you have to get rid of your spiritual hater. Again, this whole reading is about keeping your back turned against the spiritual hater. It's all about this white swan, black swan event that's coming, that's we're gearing up for. The reason the thumbnail was on there with that picture is because that's what we were doing in Astro. We're getting 4D ready for this huge event. And they call it a black swan event. You can call it a white swan event, because for the dark it will be a black swan event. For the light it will be a white swan event. So we have to get rid of our spiritual haters to get to our happiness, joy, and fulfillment. Okay, then this card one was stuck right to spiritual haters. Angels are with you for protection. So it's just repeating itself. Before it said the ancestors are going to give you signs. It said pray to God, have conversation with God. And now it's saying that the angels are with you, protecting you. So that's your answer to all this, okay? Also, relocate, physical move. Just what I said earlier. I said I feel a physical move. Quitting your job and moving by the water is what I heard. But for everyone, it will be different. So this is talking about a physical move. This is talking about leaving this betrayal, leaving this job, leaving these people, all this toxic stuff going on. Okay, victory will be yours is the final outcome. That's kind of like saying, like the other day with the sun, it's a favorable outcome. But victory will not be yours if you don't listen. You know, people don't listen. I can scream it from a mountaintop, but people don't listen. And you can ask the ancestors and the angels if that's not correct. People don't listen. Okay, so victory will be yours if you listen. And some of you are sleeping with the enemy. So they're telling you straight out it's whoever you're sleeping with. Okay, that will not be for everyone. But you have to remember that sleeping with the enemy doesn't have to be necessarily physical sleeping with the enemy. It could be your best friend. It could be your mom, your dad. Health issues and spiritual sickness. And we had that earlier. They have a spiritual disease. So their health is getting worse. That will be a sign. And also your health could be getting worse from them. So it's kind of like a two-way street there. Another just a sign. And a third person is involved. And all of this is karmic. So whatever I'm talking about with all this energy, it's all karmic and it just needs to be closed out. Karmic means you wrote it in your soul contract for a reason and you're just going to finish it and close the chapter. That's what turning your back on them means. It means moving forward. Remember the card where her hand's going, yeah, I can't hear you, yak, 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 bye-bye, yak, yak, yak. And I'm just moving forward. My back is towards you. Oh, come back, I've changed. They want you to come back because they've changed. They want to lure you back in. You have to have that strong, courageous Deuteronomy 31:6. Keep your head in the air and your feet planted on the ground. And remember that they're in the category of a stalker, a karmic, a troll, just what we said. So it keeps repeating itself. And the thing that I'm drawn to on this card again is the glasses. See his glasses? It's like the wearing a fake mask, wearing a mask, right? They're deception. Deception. You may be fallen for it, or you may fall for it. I know a couple of you have taken your toxic people back. How's it going for you? Didn't go good, did it? One girl has a restraining order out now. And I don't know, I'm sure there's been a few deaths, a few getting beat up, a few trauma situations that I don't know about, but I know they're happening. I know you didn't go back and it was all fun and games. No, it was a lot of games, but I don't think it was fun. Okay, so middle of the deck, watch for red flags. It's a false masculine. Okay, normally it says a false female a lot of times. No, this time it says you're the divine female energy. Doesn't have to be physically. And you're dealing with a male. A false masculine, low vibe. Watch for red flags. Now, it could be a wife that's in masculine energy. It could be a boss that's a female that's in masculine energy. We don't really have genders, so it's just basically all repeating itself. There wasn't anything in this message that didn't say what I've warned you to do. So you want to go back to the toxic situation. You don't want to relocate. You don't want a physical move. You don't want to quit your job. Then you might be having a spiritual awakening, ascension problem. You may not ascend to where you need to go. You may get stuck on earth. You may get stuck on earth, and it has a lot to do with your childhood trauma that you haven't dealt with. So like abandoned issues, you're afraid to lose a job because you don't think you can get another one. You're afraid to leave a wife because you're afraid to be on your own. You're very codependent maybe. So it says manifest the life you desire and then go for it. And don't be scared. Don't be a scaredy cat. Do Deuteronomy 31:6. Have courage, be strong and courageous, and do not be afraid. So that's a great message. And back to the Swan event. When shit hits the fan, be in the white Swan event instead of the black Swan event. Confirmation. Okay, and there's the big black crow. Hi, honey. We had Thunderbuck here. We had the black crow here. I am Miss Mystic. It's going to be a 90-degree day. Beautiful out. I love you guys. Thank you for listening.